Thank you for viewing this video, which is a condensed explanation of the assurance framework in Alberta's education system. A more detailed version is available for delivery to Alberta School Council Association's audiences upon request. In this video, you will learn how Alberta education has moved from an annual cycle of measuring and reporting student success to using what is called a continuous improvement process. You will also learn how the planning and reporting cycle fits into this continuous improvement process and the role that school councils have as an education stakeholder. Alberta Education's Assurance Framework came into effect on September 1st, 2020, and replaced the accountability pillar as a way of measuring the performance of the education system in Alberta. School authorities are accountable to Alberta Education and are required by legislation and regulation to establish a system of accountability for results for their schools. It is important to understand the change to this assurance framework has not changed this requirement. Over the years, education partners have been working on improving the accountability pillar method of measuring student success in order to enhance public confidence. The move to Alberta's assurance framework is about building public trust in the education system. This changes the focus of school divisions from being not only accountable to the Ministry of Education, but also to showing all Albertans that the system is meeting the needs of students and that students are successful. In the assurance framework, all education stakeholders accept responsibility for building capacity of the education system. As a legislated group within the school councils are an education stakeholder, a partner in fact, providing the unique parent perspective on student success. In the assurance framework, there are 5 areas called assurance domains. For each of these domains, each education partner has responsibilities that they are accountable for and need to provide assurance about. Each assurance domain has measures of performance that are used to assess all school authorities in Alberta. The local component is about how local stakeholders, like school councils, are engaged in the process. School divisions report their performance in their annual education results report and then use the results to develop their education plan. Let's look at the second domain, teaching and leading. In September 2019, 3 new sets of professional practice standards came into effect. Of particular interest to school councils is the Leadership Quality Standard that outlines the professional competencies or expectations that principals must demonstrate. As the principal is a legislated member of school council and the receiver of most of school council's work, it is important that school councils understand the expectations of the principal role. This slide shows you an exact example we've taken out of the Leadership Quality Standard. Competency, or expectation number 7, reads, "A leader provides opportunities for members of the school community to develop leadership capacity and to support others in fulfilling their educational roles." Notice the indicator or evidence we've highlighted related to school councils. A full 22 of the indicators in the Leadership Quality Standard relate specifically to school councils and the school community, so you can see how very important it is for school councils to understand it. The Alberta School Councils Association strongly encourages you to review this document and discuss it with your principal at a school council meeting. This document is available on our website. Search Leadership Quality Standard. Looking at planning, it starts at the top with Alberta Education's business plan. From that document, school divisions create their own 3-year plans, and schools create their plan from the division's plan. The school council plan should align with the school's plan. Under the assurance framework, these plans are now overlaid with a continuous improvement process with the steps explore, develop, take action, and evaluate. Continuous improvement is not a reaction to yearly results, but ongoing reviews of actions being taken and the constant sharing of those reviews. It is about conferring with stakeholders, including parents, about what is expected, then creating and initiating plans that correspond to those expectations, and then following up on those plans to find out if there is success or a need to change direction. It is about checking in with stakeholders to share the results and ask, did we get it right? Education plans and annual education results reports are products and evidence of this process. They are core documents for demonstrating accountability and providing public assurance. An education plan sets out what needs to be done, while the annual education results report provides the results from implementing that plan and the actions taken to meet responsibilities in the assurance domains. So what does this all mean for your school council? Section 12, number 1 of the School Council's regulation mandates that school boards provide school councils with an opportunity to provide input on several topics relating to the school. This is not just to ask, how did we do, but specifically to invite input during the development stage. That means that principals must provide opportunities to engage students, parents, staff, and community members in the planning process. They are also required to share results and report their progress on achieving those priorities. Here's an example. The principal and the staff have reviewed the annual education results report and have determined there's a real need to focus on literacy and social-emotional learning in the next school year. They have identified 4 possible solutions, 3 of which have an impact to the budget for next year. The principal knows the budget won't allow for all these strategies, but needs to decide which to implement. The same example could also apply at the division level. At this point, you're asking, what can your school council do to be a part of this process? This classic slide from many of our workshops brings us full circle. Using the previous example, by asking the school council to engage all parents in the school community to provide their opinions on the possible solutions, the principal will have a better idea if the decision he or she makes will be supported by the school community or may require additional justification before and during implementation and when sharing the results. Using the assurance framework will look different for every school and school division. There is no fixed provincial template or process to follow. School divisions have considerable flexibility in how this will be implemented, so ask how it will look in your division and your school. Similarly, every school council has a different appetite for engagement, so discuss what this will look like in your school and what role your school council will play. Seek to understand. Gather as much information as possible to inform your decision-making. Ask your trustee to attend school council meetings to provide updates on division process and progress. Our website lists some other ways school councils can contribute to the assurance framework. Each of these activities is part of the continuous improvement process. Discuss these activities with your principal and trustee at your school council meetings. The assurance framework has taken the existing accountability pillar model and added the requirement of stakeholder engagement. The accountability pillar model of the school divisions being accountable solely to the province is replaced with a model that includes parent participation to ensure their satisfaction. As the legislated forum for parent participation, school councils are expected to be at the forefront of this process, as this is what you do. School council is where the entire school community may come together to build relationships, to share information which promotes transparency, and to encourage real dialogue about education and student success. To summarize, implementation of the assurance framework is underway in every school division and school in Alberta. This is an opportunity for parents to voice their opinions and provide feedback and advice at the school and division level. School councils exist for this very purpose. Alberta School Councils Association believes that the assurance framework is an excellent opportunity for school councils not to just be informed, but to create a culture of engagement throughout the whole school community. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you have any questions or require more information, please contact our office using one of the options on the slide.